Bust it.
Hello and thanks for staying with us. Welcome to Political Platform on RIPA FM and AIT Abuja and AIT International. My name is Amechi Anap. Now, after waiting in vain for the police to send a written request for him to appear before one of his facilities, this man in one of his facilities in Abuja, Senate President Bukola Saraki, yesterday dispatched his aide-de-camp, a policeman, to the force headquarters, begging them to forward the invitation to him. They later did, but in that letter, they asked him not to mind again about coming over to the station. All he needs to do is within 48 hours write down his statement and all he knows about the allegation raised against him. He followed a meeting between the president and the vice president on separate occasions with security chiefs. The vice president met with the inspector general of police, the attorney general of the federation, and the director of the DSS. And we believe what transpired may have evolved from those meetings. We're just wondering how the SARS office in Guzape district of Abuja will look like when the Senate president, apparently, most likely accompanied by a retinue of his aides and supporters and colleagues in the Senate, would have looked like it would have been overwhelming. Already, some people are criticizing the police for not informing the Senate president earlier about the allegations against him, rather than rushing to the media with it. They said it tells you so much about the competence of the Nigerian police. Well, the APC inaugurated these state executives yesterday. Some big names have lost out. Rochas Okorocha in Imo State is one, and Adebayo Shitu, Minister of Communication, also lost out in Oyo State. It was so rowdy outside. One of the newspapers reported that the police had to use tear gas canisters to disperse protesting loyalists of those whose factions were edged out. So the courts will now be the battleground. It will shift to the causes. So some of those that are not happy with the outcome will want to really take it to the courts. And the ICPC is today arraigning Munil Gwazo, former DG of Security and Exchange Commission, for paying himself over 100 million naira severance package. It flows from one mail that we got from a listener yesterday talking about some developments in the PENCOM, where indeed the person in charge there and the commissioners are planning to pay themselves huge sums of money in terms of severance package, running into millions, we were told. So as long as they're planning that, they should also remember that ICPC, EFCC, they are there, and anybody that pays himself so many, too much salary may really end up in court. It reminds us also of what happened with PITAD. That's a pension traditional arrangement directorate, where the head of that office was alleged to have paid herself up to 60 million naira on monthly basis, leading to arrest them by the EFCC. And we wonder, where is the position of the National Incomes and Wages Commission? This is the organization that has the constitutional mandate to fix salaries and allowances of public officials. But just as we accuse the National Assembly of doing so, so many MDAs are doing it, paying themselves a humongous amount of money. And who will take care of those that are really working for the nation? The teachers, for instance, are always maintained, are poorly paid. They are paid pittance, and the others who don't do as much as they put in end up paying themselves, allocating huge sums of money to them. I'll be bringing in the Police Service Commission today. We've been observing what has been happening, and more voices are coming, asking the federal government to really cancel the test put before Nigerians that were part of the police recruitment exercise. They complained that Arabic was part of it, and so many of them have not met Arabic in their lives. The head of the Living Faith Church, Bishop David Oyedepo, and the Christian Association of Nigeria have asked the federal government to cancel that test. We'll be speaking with Ike Chukwu, the spokesperson of the Police Service Commission, the organization that organized that test, to really find out the reason why Arabic was instituted in that process. My colleagues are here with me. Adebayo Bodunrin, welcome to Political Platform.
Yes, Mishi, thank you very much. I think there is a confusion in the country which needs to be sorted out over the payment of salaries. If you look at the trend since 1999, most of these parastatals and agencies are being headed by people appointed on political grounds, and so why it is the duty of the Wages Commission to fix the salary for public officers. Are these individuals really public officers in the strict sense? And so what needs to be sorted out is whether the Wages Commission will fix their salary, or it will be the duty of that of Revenue Mobilization and Fiscal Commission. I think that is one thing that needs to be done, since it is the duty of the Revenue Mobilization and Fiscal Commission to fix the salary and allowances of all people holding political offices. I think it's a wake-up call that this issue should be sorted out, instead of individuals allocating to themselves what they feel, even if it's not in the books. Yesterday was a remarkable day, political history of Nigeria, although nobody recognizes it. Yesterday it was exactly 22 years when Kudirat Abiola was murdered on the streets of Lagos. And for those who are the admirers and sympathizers, they still troop out to mark the killing, the brutal killing of Kudirat Abiola. And what Kudirat Abiola reminds me, and I think reminds some other Nigerians, is that here is a woman, very quiet, very humble. Abiola met her in Zaria, and then fell in love, and he married her. And then, but just from nowhere, she came out of that quietness, humbleness, and stood firmly in defense of her husband. He stood up firmly in spearheading crusade. Unfortunately, that election was annulled. It was never revalidated, but it shows that there is an inner strength in most Nigerian women when it comes to defending justice. And I think it's a woman that is worthy of emulation that others should probably copy. And you will recall Vincent Ogbulafor. He was chairman of PDP at one time. And at Media Pali, specifically, I attended that Media Pali at Sheraton Hotel. He announced that PDP will rule for 60 years.
The 60 ended up 16.
The 60 years. The interesting aspect of it was that 6 years later, PDP was defeated at a presidential poll. So that 60 years was reduced to 6 years instead of the 60 predicted. Where there is a prediction now by Mama Taraba, the Minister of Women Affairs,
Aisha
Hassan, that APC will rule Nigeria forever
and ever and ever.
And so we have already seen another prediction. We are washing out. We are just we are just watching the trend.
The woman that saw tomorrow. Well, for Kudirat Abiola, it's unfortunate that up till today, justice has not been done. The killers have not been brought to justice, and we hope that will happen someday. Well, Aisha Hassan, she's working on a tightrope. She once made a public statement and defended it that as soon as the former Vice President Atiku Abubakar declares for president, she will join him. Atiku Abubakar has since declared that he will contest and run for the ticket of the PDP. The Minister of Women Affairs is yet to resign her appointment, contrary to what she said and stood on. We clap for her then and hailed her as a woman who has seen a friendship as not what you can take to the altar of politics, that she's ready to put her feet down even at the risk of being sacked as a Minister of Women Affairs. Maybe she has decided that the juices that come out from that ministry may be too enticing and too strong for her to drop to go to an uncertain area.
She said
you better hope what you have now
she's
that what you don't know whether
now
you
she said she's going to recontest again as governor of Taraba State on the platform of the APC.
Well, she has to make these very strong statements to appease those in the APC, especially the president, who displayed their statesmanship in handling her case. Not so many would tolerate such a dissent right from the cabinet, but the president kept some deaf ears and continued work as if nothing had happened. But she has to impress some people, and I think she's doing that. Ijama Osama, welcome to Political Platform.
Thank you, Amechi. I am not surprised if she's saying that, because the class of politicians we have in Nigeria, when they wake up in the morning, they tell you, I can never be a part of that party over my dead body. In the afternoon, they will defect from their party and say, I am not a politician for now. In the evening, they will join the same party that they said they can't be. So I'm not surprised. It's in their character, the character of Nigerian politicians. Not all of them anyway, because there are some of them that are very, very faithful to whatever cause that they are pursuing. And I'd like to also look back at what happened yesterday between the NPDP in the APC and the meeting with the government.
They say they are pulling out of
they pulled out of the negotiation, and they are not happy about it. They said the government is having ill faith towards their appeal, and they want Saraki's case cancelled, especially the IG's allegation against Saraki. They also insisted that Saraki, Dogara, and most of their members that are occupying elective positions should go and contest, and they should be given opportunity to do that. So this I think their demands were not meant, or probably they are still deliberating on it.
They said the negotiations did not come in good faith. The presidency and the government did not act in good faith with some of the actions.
So they are still waiting. They've not decided what to do.
They threaten they will pull out.
But they are still waiting. If peradventure the government changes its mind, that's what they said yesterday. So let's look out for what will happen. A lot are happening in the polity before 2019.
Well, they allege that the government leaked a rumor to the media, which they said was false, that part of the condition they gave was that the case against the Senate president in the CCT Code of Conduct Tribunal be withdrawn, that they never said it, that the withdrawal of security details, half of the DSS operatives with some of their members, the leadership of the National Assembly, is a sign that they are being threatened. And of course, the police invitation to the Senate president is one that tells them that maybe the government is not sincere in talking with them. Would they pull out? Would they resume the negotiations? Would they pull out from the APC itself? These are possibilities. Would you, Ajay, welcome to Political Platform.
Thank you, Amechi. Amechi, these are questions, that a lot of people are trying to unravel, but from what one can see, I really, even in the light of what has happened in the last 48 hours, I really do not see the NPDP, being comfortably again, within the larger fold. I think that for them to come out, because I saw that statement signed by Bugaji, for them to come out and say that they are no longer comfortable. Sorry, not Bugaji. Pardon, Baraji, please. For them to come out and say that they are no longer comfortable with the discussion. That shows you that a lot of water must have passed under the bridge, and you would notice that in the last few weeks, a lot has happened. And even beginning from the onset of this administration, they had not been quite comfortable, because what they negotiated for in leaving the PDP, most of the things that they expected, they have not been seen. And it doesn't really appear as if the party is just going to concede everything to them. The party also has its own stakes. You understand, there are also other interests within the party. So let's see how it plays out. But let me salute Kudirat Abiola, a woman of virtue, a woman of courage, a woman that inspires people like us. We're all in the June 12 struggle to actualize democratic rule in Nigeria. And
you were part of that struggle.
Yes, we were. All of us, even late Ladi Lawal. You could see the way she marched. Yes, you could see the way she marched right beside her husband, not being afraid of bullets or anything. She was quite courageous. Yes, she fell down, but her spirit is alive. And the example she has given is an example that most women who talk of integrity should follow, astuteness. And again, that brings me to the issue of Mama Taraba. She said something, she should stand by her word. Integrity is born of people who say and do, talk na do.
Yeah, okay. Just before we go, a statement came out yesterday from the Minister of National Planning and Budget that the President is scrutinizing the budget. Well, let's hope that it won't take a long time before the budget will be signed before the appropriation bill will be signed into law, or he will raise his objections, and we find a way between the presidency and National Assembly. We find a way of resolving the objection, because it is really dragging for too long. That we are here to have the budget for this year.
Is it June 13th or 18th? I'm not sure again that the 2017 budget will expire. You know, they moved it from January to December financial year to May to June. By next week, it should be over for the 2017 budget, and we hope we have the 2018 budget in place to take it off from there. Well, the mail on what I said, I can't remember ever talking about the process of impeaching a president. I remember some weeks, if not months back, I talked about how stringent it is within our constitution. We understand fully how it works. So I never said it. Maybe it's a figment in the imagination of our listener. Thank you for also continuously listening to us and taking to back what we say here, but I can categorically state that I never said it. Maybe you crossed your facts, just to put the record straight. But let's quickly bring in Ikechukwu Ani. Ikechukwu Ani is the spokesperson of the Police Service Commission. Thank you so much for joining us, Ikechukwu.
Thank you very much.
The screening you conducted, the test has been very controversial. Was this Arabic studies part of the test for Nigerians from across the states of the Federation, across the religious divide to participate? Was it there?
Let me correct this impression. The candidates for enlistment into the police were only exposed to English language, which has 60 questions, and we are supposed to answer it in 45 minutes. Well, because it is a test, the JAMB had dummy questions.
What did you call it? Dummy questions?
Dummy questions, which is also to test ability to read instructions in an exam. But they were adequately instructed to answer questions in English language, which is 60, and they have only 45 minutes to do that.
So what you're saying in effect was that the question paper had English language and some other subjects, agriculture, finance, Arabic studies, but his instructions said answer only English language.
Only English language, which has 6 aptitude tests, only English language, which has 60 questions, and they were given 45 minutes to do that. So
maybe you're trying to find out if these candidates are the ones that read instructions and follow instructions.
That is it.
But the choice of Arabic, you know, Nigeria is these things are very sensitive in the country, even when they shouldn't be. But unfortunately, that is where we have found ourselves. If there are dummy questions, why should Arabic be part of it?
You know, in JAM platform, they set questions in almost every area for people entering the university. It's subjects for people entering the university. And Arabic is just French. It's like a house by Igbo. But there was a very distinct instruction that you should answer only questions in English language. So if a candidate who wants to enter the police decides to go and start answering fine art and agriculture, then I don't think the person is qualified to be enlisted in the Nigerian police force. I don't think so.
I still raise this question again. Why the choice of Arabic? You know, in Nigeria, people shout fire where there is no smoke. And did it not occur to those that did the JAMB and Police Service Commission that the mere fact that Arabic is included will make people shout fire when there is even no smoke?
Yeah, there's no smoke at all because even the exam and even the recruitment we are doing is based on equality of local governments. We are recruiting 6,000 Nigerians into the Nigerian police force as constables, and every local government has will have equal representation in that 6,000. So even if they said French, Igbo, and all that, and they are asked to answer only English, if you go and answer Igbo and leave what they are supposed to answer, it will affect you based on the merit that will be taken from your local government.
Why? Let me ask you this question.
Yes,
why did it take the Police Service Commission so long to offer this explanation and then allow the controversy to fester for so long and creating, and you know the kind of society we live?
No, I am only repeating what my chairman and the registrar of JAM have earlier done. They issued a statement which both of them signed, and they explained that the questions were for only English language, that these other ones were dummy questions, and it is also part of the test to know whether the certificates these candidates are holding are for them. Because somebody that has a school cert should be able to read instructions when you are doing an exam. You don't just open the system and start answering questions as they come. You have to read the instructions.
Now that people are already casting doubt on that very particular test, is it not possible for the commission to cancel and bring up another test, this time not putting CROS or Arabic, but something different?
I will also want to ask you, on what basis will the commission cancel the exam when those dummy questions were part of the test? They wanted to test the intelligence of the candidates. Can you read the instructions before you go into an exam, or you don't open a system and start answering the questions? The instruction is that answer questions from English language, and the questions are 60, and that you have only 45 minutes to answer them.
Well, we would not be able to talk on behalf of the candidates. I'm sure some of them who read the instruction must have answered in English. But would you not say that maybe the examination authorities were a bit insensitive, because we're talking of an era where people are making all kinds of allegations, Islamization and all of that, and then you now had to bring in that?
I don't think I am in a position to answer that, but I'm telling you that the recruitment is based on equality of local government. So there is no advantage for anybody.
That's another controversy. Some say it used to be on equality of states. Why local government now?
Constables are supposed to be for community policing. So it is based on state, and when we are doing it on state, this thing is now local government. That is the unit you use to get what you want.
Because the Kanu, for instance, Kanu that has the same population with Lagos or lesser population with Lagos, we produce more personnel now than Lagos because it is based on local governments.
Yes, because the constables that will be recruited will likely work in the local government.
Okay.
So it must be a quality of local government.
Okay, we'll leave that for another day. I don't think this session will be enough to really deal with this issue. But thank you so much for joining us, Ait Chukwani, spokesperson of the Police Service Commission.
I think it's a very.
We have to go. Sorry. We'll come back tomorrow. When we come, we'll continue on this and more. Thanks for being part of today's edition. Have a nice day. Busted.